What are my fears? My fears are I have a deep fear of being rejected, making mistakes, and both of these fears are built upon a very deep-seated feeling of being worthless. These feelings come not from some big events in my life, they come from very, very small interactions in many aspects of my life, so my family life, in my school life, with friends, all over my life, for my whole life. I had a lot of these very little, very ordinary interactions that all pushed me in the direction to make me feel like I'm not good enough and really grow this deep-seated feeling of being worthless. And this feeling is mostly triggered then again by making mistakes and by rejection. Both of these feelings are built on top of that feeling of worthlessness. Today these feelings are, or today these fears are a lot better. At least the fear of mistakes and fear of rejection. I'm very aware of how they work, of what triggers them, of what they, when they're triggered, what they cause, what effects they have in my life, in my behavior. And I'm especially good at recognizing them because I have so much experience with them that this understanding of exactly knowing where they're coming from, how they behave, how they act, how they're triggered, how they feel, how they change my perception, and how they change my behavior helps a lot when having them. It helps a lot of working with them. It helps me a lot with it helps me a lot to endure them. I something is I don't know if it's English, if it's a little bit more difficult to talk about this in English. This is now the fourth time that I'm doing this practice, talking about my fear. This time I tried it in English, and it's for some reason it's a lot more difficult to get the words out. Maybe that is in English. Maybe that is English, that it's just a lot more difficult to talk about. Not just that, but just get the sentences out. Because I don't just have to think about what I want to say, but also how I want to say them. That makes this a little bit more strange. So maybe I should try also exactly this again tomorrow, one more time in German, and try to compare that a little bit more precisely how that works. So let's get back to talking about them. How are they today? My fears today are a lot better. I had a lot of practice again. What I was saying, I have a lot of understanding where they're coming from, and the understanding helps a lot. Helps me a lot with recognizing that I have this fear, that they're present, that these are things of my past. It helps me a lot to I don't know what is going on. Not even that it feels weird that I have this feeling of not talking. I just struggle to create thoughts and speak them in any way, and not even the way that I know that when my mind is just empty. It kind of is, but it also feels different. So I was talking about that my understanding about my fears had me a lot of recognizing that these triggers, these fears that I have in the moment are just things of my past, that there are patterns and behaviors that I have learned in my whole life, and that they are just active, and it's not a thing that has necessarily a connection to the real time things that are happening around me. That there are no threats, that there are not even necessarily rejections or mistakes or whatever, but those are just triggers and pain of my past. And that makes it a lot better. And I had a lot more practice with rejection in the last years through online dating. That helped me a lot. Using that to work on those fears a lot more. So I'm a lot more practiced in handling that, and as I said, in separating the fear and the feeling of what is actually happening now, what are the sensations that I get from now, and what is actually just a pain of my past that just comes back up, and that has to be dealt with in some way. That helped me a lot. My feeling of worthlessness is something that it is better today, but that's probably where I can get to, where we'll see these things getting to in the future. This deep-seated feeling of not being good enough and feeling like I'm worthless is not a feeling that I will ever get rid of. It's just, at this point, it's just a part of me. There will always be something in me that will just doubt myself, where I just don't feel good enough, where I just feel worthless. That's just... Today I feel it is more something like... I don't know the word to use here in English. Then again, we struggle just with the English vocabulary. But some people have issues to use some muscles, like they can't raise or move their arms or legs normally, can use them a bit, or they have just some muscle issues. Some people can't hear normally, some people can see normally. Like I don't even have like normal perfect eyesight. I need assistance with that. There are just some people just have some limitations in something, and I look at this very much exactly the way I just have issues with an emotion, like feeling good enough, feeling valued, feeling worthy. That's just a feeling where I just struggle to feel it. I'm not incapable of it, but it's just, I only have, I don't know, 30% of that capability, or whatever you want on percentage to give on that. It doesn't really matter, 50, 10, whatever. I just have my capability of feeling that emotion, of feeling worthy, of feeling like I'm good enough, feeling like I belong. That's just in parts an inability. I'm just not capable of having that emotion. My brain struggles to create that and to recognize that. And that's just some kind of inability that I have to live with, and that I have to deal with, and that I just have to work around them. And I just have to accept that. That's it. I do think that will get better with time, over time, like in decades. I do think that will become a little bit less of an issue, but it will always be an issue. We'll always have that very big and influential part in my life that will never go away. There's nothing that I can do to really feel worthy. And as I currently look at it, it's not even something that I should chase. Because I think if I want to try to get there, if I want to try to feel good enough, to really feel like this feeling of I'm not good enough and I'm worthless, that completely goes away, and I just feel the opposite, like I'm just feeling good in that. I feel wanting to chase that is very much just the fear that is created out of that emotion. So the more that I chase it, the more I seek to feel worthy with this deep-seated issue of not feeling good enough and this deep-seated fear of never being good enough. If I try to chase it, if I lean into that, that just makes this fear stronger. So the only way that I in the long term have a chance to reduce this is by in a way not chase it, to not care about it. Just say, okay, I will sometimes just feel a bit I just have to do the things that I want to do. I just have to live with not feeling good enough. And I just have to accept that it's just an emotion that follows me and it doesn't have any connection to what or who I am. I'm not good enough because I feel that way. It doesn't matter if I feel like I'm not good enough or I feel worthless. That has no meaning in my life. And I can't give it meaning. Like I can't, also in that sense, for the future, at least right now, my perspective is I shouldn't chase that. I should not try to feel worthy, not in the sense that I should embrace being worthless. That's very much not what I'm saying, just seeing not giving any meaning to that at all. Because I will just feel like I'm not good enough, and trying to remove that feeling out of my life will just strengthen it. It will just tell my brain, yeah, you're right, I'm not good enough, and so I have to chase that I feel good enough. And I don't have to chase it because I am good enough. I'm worthy, I'm good enough, but I don't feel like that. That's just a disconnection that I just have to live with. And I think that's more of a way that I can reduce that feeling in the long run than trying to do something or prove myself, or I don't know, try to counteract it in some way, because it's not necessary. The more I would try to lean into it, the more I actually lean into the fear, and the more I will strengthen it, because I acknowledge it, and I can't acknowledge that I'm not good enough. Have a nice day. You're worth it.